And now let's talk about this book, Hello Future Me. This book features so many fun things, including magic, an angry flying garden gnome, and the town of Tanglewood Crossing that is the Bigfoot sighting capital of the entire world. That's right. And it has this amazing downtown that's like this hodgepodge of colorful shops all stacked up one on top of the other. Most of them are Bigfoot themed, and a lot of our action takes place at this very cool coffee shop downtown called the Friendly Bean, where we will find June, the main character, and her best friend decorating the world's most gorgeous, glitteriest sign for the return of her mom, who's coming back from art camp. And by the way, what is art camp for adults anyway? Why has her mom been there for 5 weeks? Well, June is about to find out something really shocking, which is that her parents, who are like amazing, her dad is like this really cool guy. They're fixing up a motorcycle together called Honey Pie. They're basically best friends. Her mom is this awesome artist who is just super cool. And her parents are totally in love. So she cannot believe it when her mom comes back from this camp announcing that her and her dad are getting a divorce. This does not seem possible. And June, who is a super planner and matchmaker, she's determined that she's going to use these planning and matchmaking skills to get her parents back together. Absolutely. And thankfully, she has her best friend Calvin to help. So they set about putting this beautiful plan into action to get her parents to fall back in love again. But her plan doesn't work. So what is June going to do now? She's totally lost. She has no idea what she can do next until her and Calvin visit this shop in town. It's this brand new shop that has just popped up overnight called the Shop of Last Resort. It's full of slightly broken objects that each claim to have a magical property. But these are not normal magical properties. They're basically totally useless. Like, who needs an alarm clock that tells you exactly when your dog is going to poop? Really? Really? Does anybody really need sunglasses that when you put them on, all they do is make you laugh hysterically and you can't stop? Nobody really needs that stuff. And in fact, June doesn't even believe at all that these objects are magical until she goes home. It's her birthday, so her dad has gotten her a secondhand laptop. She's never, ever in her life had her very own laptop before. Like, that's not something they can afford. And she doesn't care at all that this laptop is super old. And when she opens it, it has a cracked screen. She doesn't care as long as it turns on. So it turns on, she connects to the trailer park Wi-Fi, and it's booting up. Out of nowhere, this messaging app opens, and she gets messages coming in from someone who claims to be her, but from 10 years in the future. So June is getting messages from her future self? What? None of this makes any sense until she sees a little tag on the laptop saying, this old laptop is from that creepy new shop in town, the Shop of Last Resort. And the person claiming to be future June knows things that nobody else in the entire world could know, except for her future self. So why is her future self so annoying? And also, why does her future self give her this dire, super important, all caps warning saying that June should never, ever, 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 for any reason, go back to the Shop of Last Resort? And she should certainly not try to use any of these so-called magical objects to get her parents to fall back in love again. Do you think June will listen to the warning from her future self and never return to the shop? Or do you think she'll be too curious and too determined to get her parents back together, and that she will try out some of these magical objects despite the dire consequences?